Okay, so you've just started playing Gundam Evolution and you want to know what are sort of the gameplay quirks that this game has that makes it different from the other hero shooters out there. So I'm just making this video just to talk about that. First up is your dash meter. Now, if you look to the bottom left of your screen, to the right of your health, you're going to see two bars there, two notches. Those are your dash meters. Now, your sort of medium armoured units will have 2 dashes. Your tankier units will have 1 dash, and then your lighter armoured units are going to have 3. Dashes are exactly what it sounds like. You hold the dash button, you pick a direction, and you do a quick movement in that direction. Left, right, forward, back. And these dashes should be used more in combat situations. Think of them as enhanced strafing. You shouldn't really be using them for longer distance travel. You really just want to be using it to avoid enemy fire. Now, if you do want longer distance travel, there is a sprint mechanic in the game, and that also utilises the dash meters. You can sort of think of the dash meters as your fuel gauge, and there's 3 ways to use it. The first way is obviously the dashes, and the second way is sprinting. Now, if you hold the dash button, it'll actually put you into sort of a sprint animation where it will slowly deplete your dash meters, but you'll get a longer sustained boost of speed, and that's better for longer distance travel, especially if you're going from your spawn point all the way to the defend point, because you don't want to be dash dash and then waiting for it to recharge and then dash dash. You really want to just hold down the dash button and just use that sprint mechanic to get you to those longer distances. Now, the third way that the dash meters can be depleted is by jumping or hovering. So if you jump and hold in the jump button, you'll actually stay at that height that you are until the dash meter has fully depleted. Now, that means you can jump off the top of buildings and you will stay at that height. As you can see here, I'm jumping off the top of the building and I'm staying in the air at that height, and I can just shoot down and throw fire down on the enemies. Maybe not the best tactic since you are just a big target in the sky, but it does take people by surprise because they really don't expect it. Now, things that stop the dash meter from recharging is jumping. So if you deplete your dash meter and then you keep jumping, your dash meter will not recharge. You need to stop all enhanced movement, if you will, until it recharges. And another thing that will stop it from recharging is if you transform. So if you're one of the transformable units in the game, so the Ashima or the Methis currently, if you dash and then transform, your dash meters will not recharge where you're flying. And the reason they did this basically is that way you're not a pest. That way you can't just dash fly around, dash fly around, because that would just be a pain in the arse to fight against, and it would just be really annoying. So that's why they've done that. Okay, let's talk about health. Now, when your health is depleted in the game, you do not instantly die. You get put in a down state. And that basically means your unit takes a knee and you have about 8 seconds for a teammate to come up and revive you. And then you'll be back in the game and you can keep going. If nobody revives you in time, then you will actually die and then you'll have to respawn at the spawn point. Now, there's no limit to how many times you can be revived. You can just stay in one point, get shot, get downed, revived, instantly put down again, revived, down, revived, down. There's no limit to it. You can keep doing it over and over and over. Currently, only the Barbatos can instant kill enemy units. So that means they'll use their ability and you won't even go into the down state, you'll just be instantly killed. Maybe they'll add more units that can do it later on, but currently Barbatos is the only unit that can instant kill. Now, to revive a teammate, all you need to do is get up close to them, hold the revive button, and after about 4 or 5 seconds, they will be up and running again. When you're actually down, you can actually push a button to call out for help so people can see, oh, there's a teammate over there, I need to go help. The gun tank has an ability to where it can actually revive teammates a lot quicker than everyone else. I'm talking about maybe 1-2 seconds it can revive people, but that ability does have a cooldown. That way it's not just spamming revives, like ultra revives over and over and over. Now, another big part of the game is health regeneration. Your health can regenerate by itself. That means when you take damage, you just need to dip out of combat for a few seconds and then your health will naturally regenerate over time. This means you don't need to solely rely on med pack, spawn locations or healer units, even though those things are still very important to have a knowledge of. So all you have to do here is I'm taking damage, I dip out of combat, after about 4 seconds my health starts to regenerate by itself. Now, your health does not regenerate if the game considers you to still be in combat, and what that means is either dealing damage or taking damage. okay? But also firing your weapon stops you from regenerating health. So even though I'm still firing my weapon and not dealing damage, the game still kind of counts me as in combat. But even though I'm still firing my weapon, that 4 or 5 second cooldown timer for health regeneration is still ticking away, which means when I stop proper firing my weapon, the game will instantly say, right, he's not in combat, regenerate his health. You don't need to stop firing the weapon and then the 4 second timer counts. No, the timer is still ticking away even though you're firing the weapon and not dealing damage. So that's what I mean by the game counts you as kind of being in combat and kind of not being in combat. And the final health related thing is friendly fire. There is friendly fire in the game, but not for your teammates. So you can shoot your teammates and throw your sort of area of effect explosions at your teammates. It will not affect them. But your area of effect, like grenades or napalm, anything fire, they can affect you. So don't get too close if you're using explosives or anything like that. So like grenades, napalm, if you've got a rocket launcher like the Dom unit, if you get too close, you can hurt yourself. So be wary of that. Melee. So there is no melee in the game. So if you think you can close the gap, dash forward to an enemy, and then start punching them or stabbing them with your beam saber, no, you can't do that. There's no melee in the game, unless obviously you are a melee mobile suit itself, like the Barbatos or the Exia or the Zaku 2 melee. So no melee in the game. In fact, now that I think of it, there's no beam sabers in the game yet. I mean the Exia has its GN swords. I think the closest thing is the Sazabi has its beam tomahawk, which even then is just used as a projectile, not an actual melee weapon. So I'm hoping they actually add a beam saber wielding unit in the game later on. I would like to see that. But yeah, no melee in the game. If you're dashing forward, you're literally just closing the gap just to shoot them closer. You will not be punching or stabbing them. And the final thing is crit points. There are crit points in the game, and it is the head. Sure, there'll be some people out there saying, oh, why didn't they make it the cockpit as the crit point? Well, that's because not everyone's watched the shows. Also, a lot of units, the cockpit isn't always in the same place. Some places it's the belly, some it's the chest, some it's the head. So for this, the crit point is the head. So they're going for G Gundam rules, shoot for the head. But also, that's just general first-person shooter rules. Aim for the head, you're going to do more damage. So let's just, we don't need to stick to the lore or canon here. Just gameplay first, shoot for the head. Now the crit modifier is double damage, so yes, you really do want to aim for the head in this game, as aiming for the head will give you the most benefit as damage per shot. So most units can benefit from the crit shots, and the unit that benefits the most, and as you would expect probably, is the GM sniper. Its sniper rifle, I think it actually gets a 3 times crit modifier for headshots, as it can easily one-shot pretty much every unit in the game except for the tankier units, but even then, 2 shots, and then all the other times it's 3 body shots. So really aim for the head in this, but that's the same for every first-person shooter. Aim for the head and you'll put them down faster. And that's really it. That's really sort of the gameplay quirks that makes Gundam Evolution Gundam Evolution. You've got your dashes, you can heal yourself, downs, you can revive, friendly fire for you but not for your teammates, no melee, and crits. That's essentially it. You can hover, fly, kinda, and that's basically it. And it's those little things that is the reason why I'm having so much fun in this game. Like I tried playing Overwatch 2 and the entire time I'm just thinking, why can't I dash? And you really get used to it and you really miss it when you move to these other hero shows. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for you if you were thinking about playing Gundam Evolution but you didn't really know what to expect. And I hope you have fun playing the game if you do decide to play the game. So currently, yes, it's only out in PC, but it will be coming to console on November 30th / 1st of December, depending on your time zone. And that's also when Season 2 will start, and we'll get 5 more mobile suits during that. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I'm having a lot of fun with the game, and I'm going to try and upload a lot more videos Gundam Evolution related as they go on. If you've got any video suggestions you would like me to do, feel free to put it down in the comment section down below, and hopefully I can make it for you, because my editing skills, they're okay, could be better, but then again, if you give me a challenge, I might rise to the occasion and make it. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for everyone out there. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.